Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my F1 23 MyTeam career mode. This is part 39 here in Spain. If you did miss the last episode, it was an 8th career victory for Lando Norris on the streets of Monte Carlo. We had an absolute horrid qualifying crashing in Q2, but we did have a good strategy to recover us all the way up to P4, and it was a double points finish for Brabham as well. So Alex Albon proving his worth to the team by getting some points. And now as we take a look here at the performance chart, so the main two things to point out is Red Bull now the fastest team on the grid, in ourselves we've been jumped by Haas, but you'll notice AlphaTauri's also made big inroads to Williams, so the field is actually bunching up quite nicely here. So everyone's a little bit more on, I'm not going to say level playing fields, but the gap's definitely closed up between the teams, so hopefully a bit more closer racing and not going to be so many whitewash victories here. So definitely looking forward to the battles going on into the rest of the season as we now get ourselves prepped for our practice session here, and it is going to be the race strategy program straight off the bat here, and immediately on the pace, absolutely lighting the timing sheets on fire at the moment, and currently sitting P1 in the session. And on to the next practice program here. We've absolutely smashed that first shot again as well, only once again missing two apexes just slightly to cause them being green and not purple. And now here, this is a little bit scary to see. We're very far down on our qualifying pace, so we'll definitely need to be improving that as we go into qualifying up next. And as we take a look at the practice results, so we topped the session by 0.2 of a second ahead of Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, and our teammate Alex Albon about 0.9 of a second down, sitting P11. So hopefully he can get himself into the top 10 here for qualifying, making it, I reckon, 3 race weekends in a row he will make it into Q3. So hopefully he can get that done, as now we're heading straight into qualifying. This is coming to the end of our first flying lap here in qualifying 1. Where are we going to be able to sit? We're going to go to the top straight away with a 1:11.5, and that is going to be our only flying lap of qualifying 1 here. Sergio Perez leads the way ahead of Carlos Sainz and Zhou Guan Yu is your top 3. Myself, P11, half a second down on Sergio Perez, and our teammate Alex Albon, P14, 0.6 down. So both cars into Q2. Now it's trying to get both cars into Q3 as we come to the end of our first flying lap here in qualifying 2, and we're going to go P2 by 0.2 of a second. So now coming to the end of the session, we're playing a little bit of a traffic game here to try and give ourselves the best slipstream possible. I want to try and use Lando Norris, but he was not having it, letting me through here, so I've had to accelerate, and so now we've got one of the Alpines ahead, but hopefully the gap's big enough that we won't actually really catch up to him, and that's exactly what's happened. We've gained just enough space to get us into that slipstream, but we're not going to be hindered by it, and it's helped us to go top by 0.1 of a second ahead of Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz, rounding out the top 3. And then it's our teammate Alex Albon sitting P8, half a second down on us, and he does make it into Q3 to make it 3 racing weekends in a row, and Alex Albon's into the final qualifying session. Now, our first flying lap will put us down in P2 by just under 0.2 of a second. So I reckon I can find that, guys. I've got a good shot here. I reckon pole position's on here, and once again playing a little bit of a traffic game here, I'm going to let Carlos Sainz go through. I reckon he's a bit too close there to the McLaren, and he's going to get held up quite a bit. So hopefully we can use a struggling Ferrari to our advantage. So as you can see, we didn't really gain too much time. So what's it going to be when we cross the line? P1. So we've absolutely nailed the strategy there with our track positioning, as now we take a look at the results. So it was less than 0.1 of a second. We got pole position by over Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris running out the top 3 here. Alex Albon P8, half a second down. So not bad starting positions for ourselves at all.
Welcome along everyone to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. The Rainmaster lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Albon, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Perez, Sargent, Liam Lawson, Joe, Sonoda, Bottas, Magnussen, Drugovich, Iwasa, Stroll, De Vries, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Natalie Pinkham, a lot of talented drivers out on the track today, but what will stand out for you?
Formula One never sits still. That's something that is so compelling about it as a fan. I love the fact that they're always pushing boundaries, always asking questions, always challenging how we can do better and create more performance, more entertainment, more technological advances. And we take the viewers with us on that journey, and I think that's why it's so thrilling.
And now parked all on the grid. It's time to work out strategy. Not going to really be doing too much different here. It's going to be old trusty, the medium to the hard tyre. I reckon especially on a nice sunny day like today here in Spain, it's going to be pretty much just the only way to go. As we can see here up in the top left corner, everyone here in the top 5 is on the medium tyres. And Carlos Sainz has been really weird recently, overtaking us under the safety car in Austria. And now he's just full on jumped us straight off the line for the formation lap. So definitely Carlos is a very eager driver so far this season. So now we get ourselves prepped here for the race start. It is 5 red lights and we're off. It's an alright start. We don't really get any wheel spin, which is exactly what you're after. We're going up through the gears now, but that is Carlos Sainz now taking the lead off of us. So hopefully using the tucking in behind him with some slipstream here, we can get ourselves around the outside, going to turn 1, inside for turn 2. And now can we cut him off a little bit? No, we're going to have to stick around his outside for turn 3, but I'm thinking of slightly lifting off the throttle here, just like that. And now going to his inside here for turn 4. Can we send it in? We've gone in very deep actually and run him a little bit wide. Now Max Verstappen's going to take advantage here, and he's gone to our inside. So now could Max Verstappen possibly take the lead off of us? We're going to send it down the inside here at turn 5. Max Verstappen still on the outside, and he's going to get the better traction actually on those medium tyres, and he's going to tuck himself up into the lead of the race from about 4th place. So an absolute wicked start for Max here is now, we just have a quick look at the order there, and that's Ocon actually going up into P10, overtaking Liam Lawson. So Ocon's on the move as well after having a pretty poor qualifying. And now to the end of lap 1, starting lap 2, that is Charles Leclerc going very wide actually. I reckon he's locked up there, so I wonder if he's hurt his tyre just that little bit. So now we have a look here at the replay of Max Verstappen getting himself to the lead. So I was very audacious going into there, and so he's just taken full advantage. And now going into turn 5, he is just going to sweep around the outside, and that's how he's taken the lead here in Spain. And now on board here with Esteban Ocon going to turn 1. Charles Leclerc's locked up again, so I wonder if he's really wounded that tyre from the first lockup on lap 2 here, where Hulkenberg got past him, and that is now allowed him, it's causing him to lock up even more, and that's allowed Esteban Ocon to go through. So now we're doing an order check here. So Max Verstappen leads the way ahead of myself, and Lando Norris is the podium at the moment. That's Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Oscar Piastri, our teammate Alex Albon on P7, Nico Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon, and Charles Leclerc with that wounded front tyres at the moment. It's currently sitting P10. Then it's Liam Lawson, Sergio Perez, Logan Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, Yuki Tsunoda, Felipe Drugovich, Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, Nick De Vries, and Ayumu Iwasa rounds out the field at the moment, sitting P22 in his Williams. And now, back on board with ourselves. This is going to, using a bit of DRS here actually, we're going to get the fastest lap of the race. So we are absolutely flying at the moment, and we're going to be trying to go for an overtake of the lead of the race here. And we've had an engine failure. I'm lost for words. Going for the lead of the Grand Prix, we have had an engine failure. Brazil, last season, engine failure, trying to go for the win. We were currently sitting P3 then, but we were on the fresher tyres and closing in quickly to the top 2. And now here, we were on for a win, and the engines let go once again. So, absolutely devastating scenes. It's now on board with Max Verstappen here. Smokescreen activated for ourselves. Unfortunately, it's not a strategic strategy we want to be playing. That's put us out of the race, unfortunately. So hopefully our teammate Alex Albon can pick up the scraps here, as now we do the walk of shame into the back of the garage.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, confidence breeds confidence. Success breeds success. They are very much enjoying a purple patch right now.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
And there we have it. That was Max Verstappen's 42nd career victory in Formula 1. It was a Red Bull 1-2, so Red Bull very much back in the hunt after a pretty poor season last year. And Lando Norris also gets himself up on the podium. And yeah, just unfortunately for ourselves, we could have been standing where Max is standing right now, up on the podium at the very least, but in the end, it's a fat DNF for ourselves as we now take a look here at the rest of the top 10 sides. George Russell, Esteban Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, Alex Albon ends up maintaining his P8 starting position to claim himself some more points for the team. Liam Lawson at P9 in the Haas, so excellent stuff from the Kiwi, and Nico Hülkenberg P10 in the end. And unfortunately for Carlos Sainz, it was also a DNF for him, as now we take a look here at the driver standings. So it's Lando Norris leading the way by 7 points over Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen P3, 10 points off the lead, and myself, we've dropped all the way down to P4 now, 28 points off the lead of the championship. And now here at the Constructors, it is Red Bull leading the way only by 15 points by McLaren, and then it is ourselves, Brabham, in third, 96 points off the lead. So back at the HQ now, we're going to be doing some gearbox failure analysis, and then also we're going to do a turbo reliability test upgrade. And now taking a look here, it was the energy store that let off. So was I using maybe a little bit too much overtake during qualifying or during the opening stages of the race, which just made it end up giving way so early? Who knows? We'll have to look into it to try and reduce the amount of failures we have in the future. And now for the powertrain here, we're going to be trying. We want to pump out these upgrades. We've got a big gap to fill here if we want to get ourselves to the pointy end of the field consistently. So we're going to do a build time upgrade here to pump those out a bit more quicker. And that is going to be all for this episode. Very short video considering our DNF. So hopefully for the next episode, all will go to plan. So if you did enjoy this one, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. See ya.